Domestic abuse is a widespread problem in Northern Ireland, which has a devastating impact upon victims and their families, with police responding to just under 28,000 domestic abuse incidents in 2013-14. In 2009, the board published a thematic review which made recommendations to improve the PSNI's approach to tackling domestic abuse. At this time, there was an incident every 23 minutes. In 2011, this had reduced to 21 minutes, and in December 2014, there is one incident of abuse every 19 minutes. There is no doubt this is a problem that is not going away. Whilst domestic abuse is most commonly perpetrated upon women, there is growing evidence that men are becoming victims, particularly those from within the LGBT community. The response from the PSNI to recommendations made has been very welcome. However, there is still a lot of work to do to assure victims that they will get the support they need when they come forward. To understand a bit more about the challenges in this area, let's hear from those who work with victims of domestic abuse.
If we're talking to victims of abuse, then services can always get better. But I think the partnership between Women's Aid and the police has affected a lot of change and a lot of partnership work, and has helped us to work together and be more effective. My concerns, like everybody else, even as an individual, in my living in my own community, I'm concerned about the cuts, and so I suppose I'm concerned about what that change means to us regarding policing. And in my role in Women's Aid, I'm concerned about how that will impact on the work that we're already doing. Domestic violence and sexual violence is a very serious crime. It's on the increase, reporting's on the increase, which tells us that we were starting to get there with confidence. I suppose my question is, how we're going to police domestic and sexual violence in the future? Are the PPUs going to stay? How are they going to be resourced? Are there going to be cuts? I know that the Chief Constable talked about cutting specialisms, and in a way I believe domestic violence isn't a specialism because it's so wide-ranging and affects so many people. So how is the training going to roll out to ensure that victims' voices are heard?
Police are very good at dealing with issues once they know that the issue is there. But the difficulty can arise whenever an officer is called out to a domestic disturbance and it's two men or two women, and the red flag wouldn't automatically go off in their head that this is a domestic abuse situation, because we have so frequently relied on a sort of male aggressor, female victim model of domestic abuse, which is very helpful in understanding domestic abuse in a male-female relationship, but can be quite isolating for people in same-sex relationships if there isn't that automatic reaction that there could be a victim and aggressor in this relationship. So making sure that response officers are aware of the incidents of domestic abuse in same-sex relationships, they need to ask the people whenever they go out to a call to ascertain that the fact of whether or not this is a domestic abuse situation or whether it's just violence or something else. But generally, once police officers are aware of the issues, they are very good at dealing with the needs of our clients. Certainly that's the feedback that we're getting from victims and from people accessing police services. So it's really just about embedding those good practices and making sure that that's the same for everyone whenever they're accessing a police service, that it's not just the good apples that are providing a really great service, that it's everyone, it's across the board.